The Varaxian Empire ruled over 17 galaxies for 12,000 years. Their ships moved through space like silent predators. Their weapons could destroy planets. Their minds could touch thoughts across vast distances. Yet when they found Earth, they barely noticed. Varaxian scout ships watched Earth for decades. They saw humans fighting each other. They saw pollution and waste. They saw primitive rockets that barely reached the moon. The Varaxian Council marked Earth as Level 2-2, primitive to be useful, too weak to be a threat. Olivia Reeves stood on the bridge of the small research vessel, Curiosity. She was 35 years old, with dark hair pulled back in a tight bun. Her face showed focus as she studied the sensor readings. Something was out there, something that should not exist. Kate Morgan worked at the science station. Her fingers moved across the control panel. Her eyes never left the screen. She was younger than Olivia, with short blonde hair and a serious expression. The object appeared again on their screens. It moved in ways that defied physics. It seemed to bend light around itself. Olivia leaned forward. "We need to record everything," she said. "Keep all sensors at maximum." The Curiosity was the most advanced ship humans had ever built. It carried 6 crew members on humanity's first mission beyond Mars. But it was tiny compared to what watched them from the darkness. The Varaxian scout ship was shaped like a curved blade. Its surface absorbed light rather than reflected. Inside the alien commander watched the human vessel with 4 eyes that glowed purple in the dim light. "These creatures are nothing," he thought. "They burn chemical fuel. They communicate with radio waves. They will make good slaves in 1,000 years when they are ready." The commander sent his report back to the Empire Earth Level 2. "Not worth immediate attention. Monitor and wait for development." The commander made a mistake. He assumed humans would develop like other species. He did not understand what made Earth different. Olivia noticed something strange on the sensor logs. Something had scanned their ship. Something had looked inside their computers. She felt cold fear in her stomach. "Kate, we have been hacked," she said. Kate checked the systems. The alien probe had copied their databases. It had taken everything: star maps, engine designs, weapon plans. But it had also left something behind. A small data fragment hidden in the system. Code. Olivia made a decision. She looked at her crew. "We take this information home," she said. "We tell everyone what we found. We prepare." The Curiosity turned back toward Earth. Its mission changed from exploration to warning. 20 months later, Olivia stood before the United Nations Security Council. The room was silent as she finished speaking. "We are not alone," she said. "And we are not safe." At first, few believed. They called her crazy. They said she saw shadows. But then more evidence appeared. The fragment from the alien computer began to yield secrets. Scientists learned new elements, new physics, new ways to bend reality. Olivia became Admiral Reeves. She led the new International Space Alliance, a force created to defend Earth. She watched as humanity changed. Rival nations began to work together. Resources shifted from war to defense. The knowledge taken from the alien code accelerated human technology by centuries. 10 years passed. Earth changed more in that decade than in the 1,000 years before. New weapons, new ships, new ways to harness energy. All built in secret underground or on the dark side of the moon. The Varaxians did not notice. They were busy conquering worlds in distant galaxies. Their attention spread across thousands of planets. They forgot about the small blue world, with its primitive inhabitants. Then it happened: a Varaxian scout ship returned to check on Earth. The commander expected to find the same primitive species, perhaps slightly more advanced. Instead, his ship detected energy readings that should not exist, orbital structures that should not be possible. He moved closer to investigate. His ship never returned. The wreckage crashed on Mars. Human teams recovered it. They studied it. They learned from it. The Varaxians had made another mistake. They had given humans a working example of their technology. Admiral Reeves stood in the Lunar Command Center, looking at the recovered alien ship. Earth now had 30 defense satellites in orbit. They had built 5 larger vessels hidden in the asteroid belt. They had mining operations on Mars and Europa. "We need more time," she said to her officers. "We need 5 more years." The holographic display showed the predicted path of the alien fleet. Intelligence estimated at least 20 ships. The Viraxians had noticed the loss of their scout. They were coming to investigate. The humans worked faster. They built more ships. They created new weapons based on Viraxian technology. They prepared traps throughout the solar system. They hid their true strength behind false sensor readings. They made Earth look vulnerable while secretly becoming strong. Samantha Wright joined the command team. She had led the reverse engineering project. She understood Viraxian technology better than anyone. She brought the plans for Project Harbinger. "This will give us a fighting chance," she said, showing the design. "The Viraxians communicate using quantum entanglement. We can use that against them. We can make their weapons target themselves." Olivia studied the plans. She knew it might not be enough, but it was their best hope. The first Viraxian ships entered the solar system. Their sensors scanned ahead. They detected the human defenses. They calculated a 99% chance of easy victory. The Viraxian commander prepared his weapons. He did not worry. He did not fear. The humans were still too primitive to be a real threat. His empire spanned galaxies. This would be a simple conquest. He did not know that humans had learned more in 10 years than most species learn in 1,000. He did not know that fear and necessity had driven human innovation beyond normal limits. He did not know that Earth was ready. The Viraxians had forgotten one important fact. When threatened, humans become the most dangerous species in the universe. The Viraxian fleet moved through the outer edges of the solar system. Their ships looked like sharp black thorns against the darkness. 30 vessels, each larger than any human structure ever built. They traveled in perfect formation, their weapons ready, their shields humming with energy that bent light around them. On the command ship, Supreme Commander Zorthax watched the sensor readings. His skin was pale blue. His 4 eyes glowed with anticipation. He had conquered 34 worlds personally. Earth would be 35. Report on the human defenses, he ordered. His tactical officer responded. Primitive satellites detected in Earth orbit. Minimal weapons capability. They use nuclear and kinetic weapons. No energy shields detected. We estimate complete victory within 6 hours. Zorthax made a small gesture that served as a smile among his kind. Begin standard conquest protocol. Destroy their orbital defenses, then target military installations and power generation. The Viraxian ships accelerated toward Earth. They expected no real resistance. They had conquered hundreds of worlds. They knew the pattern. Level 2 civilizations always fell easily on the lunar base. Admiral Olivia Reeves watched the alien fleet approach on the holographic display. She wore the dark blue uniform of the Earth Defense Force. A small pin on her collar showed her rank. Her face remained calm, despite the approaching danger. Are we still appearing as primitive satellites to their sensors? She asked. Lieutenant Amy Collins nodded at her console. Yes, Admiral. Our adaptive camouflage is working. They see exactly what they expect to see. Dr. Samantha Wright joined them in the command center. She had dark circles under her eyes from working nonstop for days. Her hands held a data tablet showing energy readings from the alien fleet project. Harbinger is ready, she said. All systems are operational, but we only get one chance. Olivia studied the tactical display. The Viraxian ships would be in range in 20 minutes. Earth had prepared for this moment for 10 years. Since the day they recovered the crashed scout ship, everything depended on the next few hours. Alert all stations, she ordered. Prepare for Operation Shadow. Let them fire first, throughout the solar system. Human forces waited hidden, their true strength concealed, their ships disguised as asteroids or space debris, their weapons powered down to avoid detection. They waited for the signal. The lead Viraxian ship entered Earth orbit. It scanned what appeared to be primitive defense satellites, simple structures with basic weapons. Nothing that could harm a level 5 civilization like the Viraxians. The alien ship targeted the largest satellite and fired. The energy beam struck the satellite, but instead of exploding, the structure absorbed the attack completely. The energy flowed through hidden quantum pathways designed by Dr. Wright based on recovered Varaxian technology. Now ordered Admiral Reeves' Project Harbinger activated across the solar system. What seemed like dormant asteroids suddenly revealed themselves as stealth weapons platforms. The Varaxian ships found themselves surrounded in a three-dimensional trap they hadn't detected. The first wave of Earth's attack wasn't conventional weapons, instead targeted electromagnetic pulses designed specifically for Varaxian technology. Cascaded through their ship's systems on, his flagship Supreme Commander Zorthax watched in disbelief as his screens went dark and emergency lighting activated. Impossible, he whispered. His tactical officer spoke with panic. What is happening? Commander, the humans have weapons they should not possess. They have technology beyond level 2. Zorthax tried to restore command systems. Recalibrate shields, he ordered. Defensive. Formation Epsilon. They prepared for this. They knew we were coming. The Varaxian fleet tried to regroup, but 3 of their ships were already disabled, drifting powerless. The humans launched their second attack wave. This time, physical weapons. Kinetic. Projectiles accelerated to near light speed struck the vulnerable Varaxian ships. Their shields, weakened by the electromagnetic pulse, could not stop the impacts. On the Lunar Command Center, Olivia watched the battle unfold. First strike successful. She said 3 enemy ships disabled, 4 more damaged, but we still have 23 to deal with. Lieutenant Collins updated the tactical display. The enemy is regrouping, Admiral. They are adapting to our countermeasures, Doctor. Wright studied her data. Their shields are reconfiguring. We need to launch the second phase before they can fully recover. Olivia nodded. Activate the Jupiter platform, she ordered. Launch Operation Firebreak. Hidden in Jupiter's orbit, 6 massive railgun platforms powered. Upon they had been disguised as research stations, their true purpose now revealed. They fired in perfect sequence, a coordinated attack. The projectiles followed precise trajectories calculated to hit the Varaxian fleet from behind, while they focused. On Earth, Supreme Commander Zorthax felt his ship shake as multiple impacts struck their rear shields. Damage reports flooded in 7 more ships heavily damaged, 2 completely destroyed. This was supposed to be an easy conquest. Instead, his fleet was facing destruction. Retreat to the outer system, he ordered. We need to regroup and reassess full defensive protocols. The Varaxian ships that could still maneuver began pulling back. They fired covering barrages trying to target the human weapons platforms. But Earth forces were already relocating, moving to new positions, continuing their hit-and-run attacks. Admiral Reeves watched the enemy retreat. This is only the beginning, she told her officers. They will be back with reinforcements. We have days, maybe weeks to prepare, Dr. Wright spoke. We need to accelerate Project Phoenix. It's our only hope against a larger fleet. Project Phoenix was the next step beyond Harbinger. Not just defensive measures, but humanity's first true interstellar. Ships built using hybrid human Varaxian technology. 3 vessels under construction in a hidden base beneath the lunar surface. Lieutenant Collins received new data from the outer system sensors. The enemy fleet has reached Saturn orbit. Admiral, they appear to be conducting repairs and sending communications back to their homeworld. Olivia studied the reports. They will call for reinforcements. They now know we are more advanced than they expected, but they still don't know our full capabilities. We need to use that advantage. She turned to Dr. Wright. How soon can the first Phoenix ship be ready? 3 days, maybe 4, Dr. Wright replied, but it will only be a prototype. We haven't tested the hybrid drive system. We don't have a choice, said Olivia. This is a race against time. The Varaxians will return with a larger fleet. We need to be ready. The next 48 hours saw frantic activity throughout Earth defense facilities. The damaged Varaxian ships provided valuable data. Human scientists worked nonstop to understand alien technology better, to find more weaknesses to create new weapons. The Varaxian fleet remained in the outer solar system. Supreme Commander Zorthax faced the unthinkable. He had to request reinforcements for what should have been a simple conquest. His 4 eyes dimmed with shame as he prepared his report to the Imperial Council. The humans have technology they should not possess, he reported. They have somehow developed countermeasures specifically designed. Against our systems, we require additional forces to complete this conquest. Across the vast distance of space, the Imperial Overseer responded. We are sending the Second Fleet under command of Imperial War Master, Kraxoon. 120 ships will arrive in 14 days. Do not fail us again. Zorthax on Earth. Admiral Reeves received the intercepted communication. Their quantum interceptors had broken the Varaxian codes, another advantage the aliens didn't know humans possessed. 120 ships, she said quietly to her command staff. We face impossible odds, but in her heart she knew humans had always faced impossible odds. They had always found a way to survive. And now, with Project Phoenix nearing completion, they had one last card to play. 4 days passed since the first battle. The remains of the Varaxian fleet held position near Saturn. Their damaged ships underwent repairs. Their commanders planned new strategies. They had underestimated the humans. They would not make that mistake again. On Earth, panic spread as governments revealed the alien threat. Civilians prepared for possible invasion. Some fled to underground shelters. Others joined emergency defense forces. Everyone knew that the future of humanity hung in the balance. Deep beneath the lunar surface, Dr. Samantha Wright worked without rest. Her team pushed to complete Project Phoenix. The prototype vessel took shape in the massive hidden hangar. Its hull incorporated both human and Varaxian technology. Its weapons systems, more advanced than anything Earth had built before. Admiral Olivia Reeves toured the facility. Her uniform rumpled from days without proper sleep, her eyes tired but determined. She watched technicians install the hybrid drive system, the key to the entire project. Will it work? She asked. Dr. Wright wiped sweat from her forehead. In theory, yes, she answered. The drive combines our fusion technology with the quantum displacement principles we learned from the Varaxian wreckage. It should give us capabilities they won't expect. Lieutenant Amy Collins joined them, carrying new sensor reports. The reinforcement fleet has been detected, Admiral, she said. 120 ships as predicted. They will reach Saturn in 9 days. Olivia studied the report. Is the Phoenix ready for a test flight? Tomorrow morning, Dr. Wright replied. But it will only be a short system check. We need at least 3 more days before it's combat ready. We may not have 3 days, said Olivia. Once the reinforcements arrive, they will likely attack immediately. Their first defeat embarrassed them. They will want quick revenge throughout the solar system. Human forces prepared for the coming battle. The defense platforms around Earth were reinforced. The stealth weapons, systems in the asteroid belt were reloaded. Ships and satellites were repositioned to create layers of defense. But everyone knew it might not be enough. The second Varaxian fleet was much larger than the first. It would include their most powerful warships, including planet killers capable of reducing Earth to molten slag. In her private quarters, Olivia reviewed battle plans. None offered much hope. Even with their new technology, humans remained outmatched. The best scenarios showed massive casualties and only a small chance of victory. She closed her eyes, fighting exhaustion. A soft alert sound came from her computer screen. A message from the science team. Project Phoenix was ready for its test flight earlier than expected. Dr. Wright had found a way to accelerate the final preparations. Olivia headed to the launch facility, her heart beating faster with renewed hope. When she arrived, technicians rushed around the sleek vessel. Its hull was midnight black, absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Its shape reminded her of a predatory bird with wings swept back. Dr. Wright met her at the entrance. We modified the quantum field generators, she explained. The ship now has limited stealth capability similar to the Varaxian vessels. It won't make us invisible, but it will confuse their targeting systems. Olivia nodded. But will it fly, Doctor? Wright smiled for the first time in days. It will do more than fly. The test flight was scheduled for 400 hours. A skeleton crew would take the Phoenix on a quick journey to Mars and back. A simple mission to verify all systems worked properly. But fate had other plans at 200 hours. The perimeter sensors around Saturn detected movement. The Varaxian reinforcement fleet had arrived early, their 120 ships joining the remaining vessels from the first attack. The combined armada began moving toward Earth, their weapons charging. Their intent, clear emergency alerts sounded throughout human installations. Admiral Reeves rushed. To the command center, tactical displays showed the approaching enemy fleet moving faster than predicted. On course for Earth. How soon will they be in weapons range, she asked. Lieutenant Collins checked the calculations. 3 hours, Admiral. They must have improved their engines. We expected to have days, not hours. Olivia made a quick decision. Prepare the Phoenix for immediate launch, she ordered. Not a test flight, but a combat mission, Dr. Wright protested. But Admiral, we haven't completed all the system checks. The weapons are untested. We have no choice, Olivia replied. If those ships reach Earth, we lose everything. The Phoenix is our only chance for a surprise attack. They don't know we have this technology. Within an hour, the Phoenix was ready. Its systems rushed through final preparations. Its weapons loaded, its crew selected from the best officers available. Captain Sharon Miller would command the mission. Her experience with experimental aircraft making her the ideal choice. Admiral Reeves addressed the crew before launch. This mission may be one way, she said honestly. You are tasked with disrupting the enemy fleet, targeting their command ships, buying Earth time to prepare. The fate of our species rests with you. Captain Miller saluted. We understand, Admiral, she replied, her face showing no fear, only determination. The Phoenix launched from the lunar surface, its engines barely visible, its profile reduced by the stealth systems. It accelerated faster than any human vessel before, it reaching Mars orbit in minutes rather than days or months. Then it turned toward the approaching enemy fleet. On the command ship of the Varaxian Armada, Imperial War Master Kraxun received sensor reports. His large frame dominated the bridge, his 6 limbs constantly in motion, his skin dark purple with age and rank. The reports confused him. Something approaches from Mars orbit, he said to his officers. But the readings make no sense. It moves too fast for a human vessel. His tactical officer adjusted the sensors. It appears to be using a modified version of our own drive system. War Master, that is impossible. The humans cannot have developed such technology so quickly. Kraxun felt something unfamiliar. Uncertainty, perhaps even fear. These humans were different from other conquered species. They adapted too quickly. They learned too fast on the Phoenix, Captain. Miller watched the massive alien fleet grow larger on her view screen. Hundreds of ships arranged in perfect formation, the largest nearly 5 kilometers long, bristling with weapons that could destroy worlds. Weapons Officer Laura Peters reported, all systems ready. Captain. Targeting the command vessels as ordered. Miller took a deep breath. Now or never. She thought, engage. Quantum displacement drive, she ordered full power to weapons. The Phoenix seemed to flicker in and out of normal space, its hybrid drive creating ripples in reality. The Varaxian sensors could not lock onto it. The human vessel appeared in the middle of the enemy fleet before they could react. Fire all weapons, ordered Miller. The Phoenix unleashed its arsenal. Not conventional weapons, but targeted quantum disruptors designed specifically for Varaxian technology. The energy pulses spread through the enemy formation, each pulse disrupting shield harmonics and weapon systems. On his flagship, War Master Kraxun watched in horror as ship after ship lost power, systems failing, weapons offline, shields collapsing. He had never seen such a targeted attack. Such precise exploitation of weaknesses the humans should not have known existed. Destroy that vessel, he commanded, his voice rising with anger. All ships target the human craft. The Phoenix twisted through the Varaxian formation, evading energy, beams and projectiles, its small size and incredible speed making it difficult to hit. Its disruption weapons continuing to disable enemy ships, but the Phoenix was still outnumbered, its power reserves depleting, its hull beginning to show damage. From near misses, Captain Miller knew they could not survive much longer. One more attack run, she ordered. Target the flagship. The Phoenix turned directly toward War Master Kraxun's massive vessel. All remaining weapons power diverted to the main disruptor. The human ship accelerated to maximum speed. On a collision course with the enemy command ship, Kraxun ordered emergency evasive maneuvers. but his massive vessel could not move quickly enough. The Phoenix fired its main weapon at point-blank range, then veered away just before impact. The quantum disruptor tore through the flagship's shields. It penetrated deep into the vessel. It reached the power core and triggered a chain reaction. The Varaxian flagship exploded in a massive blast of energy. The shockwave damaged nearby vessels. The command structure of the invasion force thrown into chaos. The Phoenix barely escaped the explosion. Its hull breached in multiple places, its engines failing. Its crew injured but alive, Captain Miller sent a simple message back to Earth: first strike successful. She reported enemy command ship destroyed, fleet in disarray. But the Phoenix is critically damaged. We cannot make it home. Admiral Reeves received the message with mixed emotions. The Phoenix had succeeded beyond expectations. It had bought Earth precious time. But at great cost, she sent a reply. Hold position, Captain, help is coming. The remaining Varaxian ships regrouped, without their war master, without clear command, without their most powerful vessel. They still outnumbered human forces, but now they faced uncertainty, fear. And that gave Earth a fighting chance. The damaged Phoenix drifted in space, its systems barely functioning, its hull breached in multiple places. Captain Sharon Miller worked with her crew to keep life support online. They had struck a powerful blow against the Varaxians, but they were stranded far from home. On the bridge, Laura Peters monitored the enemy fleet. They are regrouping, Captain, she reported. A new command ship has taken control. They are still coming toward Earth, but more slowly, more cautiously. Sharon nodded. Good, that gives us more time. She turned to her engineer, Susan Chen. Can we get communications back online? Susan worked on exposed circuits, partial systems in 5 minutes, Captain, but the engines are beyond repair. We took too much damage in the explosion. The Phoenix had accomplished its mission. It had destroyed the Varaxian flagship. It had thrown their fleet into confusion. It had shown that humans could fight back. But the cost was high. The prototype vessel might never make it home. Its brave crew, facing the void with dwindling resources on Earth. Admiral Olivia Reeves faced the UN Security Council. The room was tense with fear and hope. Representatives from every nation waited for her report. The Phoenix strike was successful. She stated the enemy command ship has been destroyed. Their fleet advance has slowed, but this is only a temporary advantage. They still outnumber us. Their technology is still superior. We need a new strategy. Defense Minister Elena Rodriguez spoke. What about the other Phoenix prototypes? Are they ready? Not yet, Olivia replied. Dr. Wright needs at least 4 more days. We may not have 4 days, said Elena. The Varaxians will regroup. They will attack again. Olivia knew this was true. She had studied the enemy, their history, their tactics. They never retreated. They never surrendered. A species that had conquered 17 galaxies would not be stopped by the loss of one ship, even an important one. I have a proposal, she said, her voice steady, despite her exhaustion. We cannot win a direct battle, not against so many ships, but we can make victory too costly for them. She explained her plan. A desperate gamble. A psychological strategy rather than a purely military one. The Security Council listened. Some members objected, others supported the idea. After hours of debate, they reached a decision: Earth would try. Admiral Reeves approached back in space. The crippled Phoenix received new orders. Captain Miller gathered her crew to explain their new mission. It was dangerous. It might be impossible. But they all agreed to try. No one mentioned that it might be suicidal on the new Varaxian command ship, Sub-War Master. Vraxil took control of the fleet. His 4 eyes glowed with anger. His skin pale with stress. The death of Imperial War Master Kraxoon was unprecedented. No species had ever managed to destroy a Varaxian flagship before. The Sub-War Master faced a difficult decision: continue the attack, he ordered finally. But approach with caution. Maximum shields. Dispersed formation. The humans have shown unexpected capabilities. We must not underestimate them again. The Varaxian fleet began moving toward Earth again, but slower. More carefully, their formation changed to reduce vulnerability to another surprise. Attack their sensors at maximum sensitivity, searching for hidden human vessels. They did not notice the small transport ship that left lunar orbit traveling not toward the enemy fleet, but away from it. Heading to the outer solar system, its engines, minimal, its profile tiny compared to military vessels aboard, was Dr. Samantha Wright, with a small team of specialists, and a device that might change the course of the war back on the damaged Phoenix. Captain Miller received confirmation that the transport had launched. Their part of the mission could begin. Sharon ordered her remaining functional systems diverted to communications. A powerful signal directed not at Earth but at the approaching Varaxian fleet. Attention, Varaxian Command. This is Captain Sharon Miller of Earth Defense Force. We request communication with your leadership. The unexpected message surprised Sub-War Master Vraxil. Humans asking to communicate. Was it a trick, a delaying tactic? He decided to respond. Curiosity. Overcoming caution. This is Sub-War Master Vraxil. Your request is noted. Why would we communicate with a species about to be conquered? Sharon activated the prepared response protocol. The computer system began transmitting data directly to the Varaxian command ship, information about Earth, about human history, about human warfare, and carefully selected details about Project Nemesis. The information was precise enough to be credible, vague enough to be terrifying. We wish to avoid unnecessary destruction. Captain Miller continued. We have analyzed your technology. We have shared this knowledge with our hidden colonies throughout the system and beyond. We have also dispatched messenger ships to other worlds you have conquered. This was the bluff Earth. Had no other colonies, no messenger ships, but the Varaxians had no way to verify this. With their command structure damaged, with limited intelligence on human capabilities, the seeds of doubt were planted. Furthermore, Sharon continued, we have developed a targeted viral package designed specifically for Varaxian systems. If you proceed with your attack, we will not only defend Earth, but will transmit this virus through your own communication networks to every Varaxian outpost and world on his command ship. Vraxil received the transmission with growing alarm. The humans claimed capabilities far beyond what should be possible for their technology level, yet they had already proven unexpectedly dangerous. The destroyed flagship was evidence of that. Is this possible? He asked his science officer. The officer studied the data. These humans adapt quickly. My analysis suggests they have indeed reverse-engineered much of our technology. The viral package they describe targets weaknesses in our system's weaknesses they should not know exist. Vraxil felt cold fear. A species that could advance this rapidly. A species that could turn Varaxian technology against itself. In 12,000 years of expansion, the Empire had never encountered such a threat. Then came the demonstration. The Phoenix activated a modified version of the same pulse weapon used in the first battle. But this time, directed through the communication channels the Varaxians had opened. The pulse temporarily disabled systems across multiple ships in their fleet. A small taste of what the humans claimed they could do on a much larger scale when control was restored. Sub-War Master Vraxil faced a decision unprecedented in Varaxian history. Retreat or risk, not just this fleet, but potentially the entire Empire. On Earth, Admiral Reeves watched and waited. The Phoenix had sent the message. The demonstration had been delivered. Now everything depended on Varaxian psychology. Would they believe the bluff? Would they consider the risk too great? Hours passed tense and silent. The enemy fleet stopped its advance, holding position just beyond Mars' orbit. More hours passed. Human forces remained on high alert, waiting for the attack that might end their civilization. Then, the Varaxian fleet began to move not toward Earth but away, their massive ships turning their formation, restructuring, their trajectory taking them toward the outer system. They retreated, said Lieutenant Collins, her voice disbelieving. They actually retreated. Olivia did not celebrate. Not yet. Send the signal to Dr. Wright, she ordered. We need confirmation that the secondary mission is complete. The small transport carrying Dr. Wright and her team had reached its destination, while the Phoenix distracted the Varaxian fleet with communication and demonstrations The transport had attached a special device to one of the damaged alien ships left behind after the first battle. The device contained Earth's most powerful quantum computer connected directly to Varaxian communication systems. It would intercept and decode their transmissions. It would learn their language, their plans, their weaknesses, and most importantly, it would create the very virus Captain Miller had bluffed about. The transport sent confirmation. The device was operational. The secondary mission successful Earth now had direct access to Varaxian communications. They would hear the enemy plans. They would know if they decided to return. Olivia finally allowed herself a small smile. "This isn't over," she told her officers. "The Varaxians will report to their empire. They will analyze what happened. They may return with an even larger fleet, but we have bought ourselves time. And time is what we need most in deep space, the damaged." Phoenix received rescue coordinates. A second prototype vessel was on its way to retrieve the crew. The mission had succeeded beyond all expectations. Captain Miller looked at her brave officers. They had faced impossible odds. They had helped save Earth, at least temporarily. She knew the war was far from over. The Varaxian Empire spanned galaxies. They had conquered countless worlds. They would not accept defeat easily. But humans had proven themselves worthy opponents. They had shown that Earth would not fall without a fight, and in the vastness of space that message was spreading. The species that could challenge the Varaxian Empire. The world that refused to be conquered. The planet called Earth. 6 months passed. Earth changed more in that time than in centuries before nations united completely under the Earth Defense Council. Military resources redirected to space. Science accelerated beyond all previous limits. The recovered Varaxian technology sparked a revolution in human capability. Admiral Olivia Reeves stood in the new orbital command station Unity. She watched Earth rotate slowly below. A beautiful blue sphere, still bearing scars from the brief battle, still vulnerable, still precious. She turned as Lieutenant Amy Collins entered the control room. The quantum interceptors detected new signals. Admiral Collins reported, "The Varaxian High Council has made their decision." Olivia nodded. The moment they had been waiting for. The enemy had retreated, but everyone knew they would return. The question was when and with how much force. What did they decide? "They are sending an envoy." Collins said, "A diplomatic mission, not a military one. They want to negotiate." Olivia felt surprise, then cautious hope. The psychological warfare had worked better than anyone expected. The Varaxians feared what humans might become given time. They chose to talk rather than risk another fight. On the main construction platform orbiting Mars, Captain Sharon Miller oversaw the final preparations of Earth's new defense fleet. 3 vessels built using the Phoenix prototype design, but larger, more powerful. Their hulls black and sleek, their engines combining human ingenuity with alien technology, their weapons designed specifically to counter Varaxian systems. The first ship, named Defiance, was nearly complete. Its quantum displacement drive tested and proven. Its defensive systems operational. Its captain already selected. Sharon herself would command this vessel. She had earned that right. The Phoenix mission had made her a hero throughout human space. Dr. Samantha Wright joined Sharon on the observation deck. They watched technicians install the main weapons array. The curved hull reflecting distant sunlight. "Amazing how far we have come in 6 months," Samantha said. "We have compressed a century of development into half a year." Sharon nodded. It helped that we captured their technology. But that alone wasn't enough. Other species had access to Varaxian tech. They still fell to the Empire. "What made humans different was adaptation," Samantha replied. "We don't just copy, we improve, we see possibilities. Others miss." The Varaxian diplomatic vessel entered the solar system 2 weeks later, single ship unarmed according to their transmission. Its design different from their military vessels, its purpose unprecedented in their history. The Varaxian Empire had never negotiated with a Level 2 civilization before. They conquered. They did not talk. Admiral Reeves ordered the Defiance to escort the alien ship to Earth. Orbit a show of strength and capability. The human vessel matching speeds with the larger alien craft. Its systems scanning for any sign of weapons or treachery. The diplomatic meeting was set on the neutral ground of the Unity Station. Representatives from Earth would meet the Varaxian envoy. The future of both species would be decided. Olivia prepared for the encounter. She wore her formal uniform, her face composed, hiding the stress of recent months. Behind her stood Captain Miller, Dr. Wright, and Lieutenant Collins, the team that had made this moment possible. The humans who had changed the course of history. The Varaxian envoy entered the conference room. Its appearance, startling despite the briefings, taller than any human, its 4 eyes glowing blue, its 6 limbs moving with fluid grace, its skin a deep purple that shifted with its breathing. It wore elaborate robes marking its high status within the Empire. High Counselor Zexil of the Varaxian Empire. The alien voice came through translation devices, its tone formal, almost stiff. I bring greetings from the Imperial throne. Olivia responded with equal formality. I am Admiral Olivia Reeves of the Earth Defense Force. I speak for humanity. Welcome to Earth space. The formalities completed, they moved to negotiations. The Varaxian Empire wanted assurances that humans would not spread their viral technology to other worlds. Earth wanted guarantees of independence and recognition of their territorial rights in the solar system. Both sides had demands. Both sides had concerns. Counselor Zexil spoke directly. You have achieved something unprecedented. Human adaptation exceeds anything we have encountered. In 12,000 years of expansion, you reversed engineered our technology in mere years. A process that takes other species centuries. Olivia kept her expression neutral. We did what was necessary to survive. The Varaxian made a gesture that translated as respectful acknowledgement. In our long history, we have conquered countless worlds, but we have never encountered a species like yours. Your potential exceeds your current development. This presents both opportunity and danger. The negotiations continued. For days, complex agreements, careful wording. Trust slowly building between ancient empire and young species. The humans revealed some of their capabilities, keeping others secret. The Varaxians explained some of their history, their structure, their intentions. On the final day, High Counselor Zexil presented the formal treaty. The Empire will recognize Earth and its solar system as sovereign territory. He said, we offer non-aggression and limited technology exchange. In return, you will contain your viral technology and limit your expansion to nearby systems. Olivia studied the document. It was more than they had hoped for. Not just survival, but recognition. Not just peace, but opportunity. The Varaxians were not offering friendship. They were too ancient, too proud for that. But they were offering respect. Something they had never given a younger species before. We accept these terms, Olivia said, signing the document, but with one condition. When we eventually develop interstellar travel, we will not be restricted from peaceful exploration. Zexil hesitated, then added the clause. The Empire would not restrict human scientific missions. They would not block peaceful contact, but military expansion would be limited. Both sides could live. With these terms, the Varaxian delegation prepared to depart. High Counselor Zexil requested a private word with Admiral Reeves. They stood in the observation room looking out at Earth. You should know, Admiral, the counselor said, that this treaty is unprecedented. Some in the Empire wanted to return with our entire fleet, to destroy your world completely regardless of cost. There was great fear of what humans might become. Olivia met the aliens. 4-eyed gaze. Why did you choose negotiation? Instead, the counselor was silent for a moment, then spoke truth rarely shared with outsiders. In our history, we have seen species rise and fall. We have seen empires grow and die. We recognize in humans something we once had, something we have, perhaps, forgotten: adaptation, innovation. The drive not just to survive but to thrive against all odds. It would be wasteful to destroy such potential. After the Varaxian ship departed, Earth celebrated. The first diplomatic contact with an alien civilization. The first treaty. The first recognition as equals in the galactic community. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged stronger. In her private office, Admiral Reeves met with her core team. The danger had passed for now, but all of them knew this was just the beginning. We bought ourselves time, Olivia said. But the Viraxians will be watching us. They fear what we might become. Captain Miller nodded. They should fear us. She smiled slightly. After all, we managed to bluff an empire that spans galaxies, Dr. Wright added. And now we have access to more of their technology. Through the exchange program, we can learn even faster. Lieutenant Collins checked her data tablet. The construction of the new fleet continues ahead of schedule. The Mars colony is expanding. The Jupiter mining operation is at full capacity. We are growing stronger every day. Olivia looked at the star map on her wall. The tiny dot of Earth. The vast unknown beyond the Viraxian Empire spanning 17 galaxies. Once they had seemed invincible, now they were cautious trading partners. Still dangerous, still powerful, but no longer uncontested. Our ancestors looked up at the stars and dreamed of reaching them, Olivia said. Now we know the universe is filled with both wonders and dangers, but we have proven something important today. Something the Viraxians and any other species watching should remember. She turned to her team. Her friends, the heroes who had saved their world. Humans will not be conquered. We will not be ruled. We adapt. We survive. And when threatened, we become the most dangerous species in the universe beyond the solar system. The Viraxian diplomatic vessel began its long journey home. Its mission complete. Its report ready. The Empire had spanned galaxies for 12,000 years. It had conquered hundreds of worlds. It had ruled without challenge. But now it had learned an important lesson. It had learned to fear Earth. The humans watched the stars. Their new ships took shape. Their technology advanced. Their unity strengthened. They prepared for whatever might come next, knowing that they had faced the greatest empire in known space and they had survived. Their story was just beginning.